Hey guys, welcome to Planet Vegeta. I am your host. My name is Elias. I am going to be doing a deck profile in Dragon Ball Fusion World of Haloku. Arguably one of the best decks in the format. Honestly, it's very controversial to me. It is a blue deck. Blue has been very strong since, for the past 3 sets, realistically speaking. This deck has caused a lot of people problems, gives a lot of people headaches. People are requesting for certain cards to be banned in this deck just to slow it down. But I will tell you this, if you are not a Majin Buu fan and you are looking for something just to absolutely destroy that deck, this is the one to look into. By far one of the probably best decks to ever come out in this game, hands down. So we're going to get into that profile. This is the first video that we are releasing on this channel. We will be discussing, decks, conversations, as well as showing you guys some gameplay of how this game is played and just give you some great content. So if you like, please comment and subscribe. Follow us. If you don't like, please tell us in the comments, maybe on things that we can work on. Don't worry, we will not stop your comments from being shown because we enjoy any type of criticism, all right? Let's get into the video. So, like I said before, we are going to be doing the Haloku deck, excuse me. And this leader right here goes ahead, and when he swings, he draws 2 and then puts one back on top of the deck. Phenomenal for consistency with this deck. You're going to go ahead and just put the one that you don't need back regardless of what's in your hand. You can choose anything. Also, if let's say you have the field extra card out, that's going to be able to be tapped to make him go to 30k just to give you some defense. There's very few leaders in the game that are going to give you a defensive strategy. And he's one of them. There's maybe the other one is going to be Green Gohan. So, you're very it's a very rare leader to be able to do something like that right now in this game. So starting off, what we're going to have for you is going to be the Raceless. This card right here is going to be realistically kind of your opener. It's going to mill 5, and then you're going to go ahead and add the one back to hand that you're choosing. That's all, as long as it says Satan City on it. Great card. It'll be recycled with some other cards that we're going to show you. Consistency just brings it to the deck to another level. Definitely a 4 of the deck. The next card. This card right here just opens up lines of play. I mean, it's a 1-drop Videl, and this allows you to bring out the 2-drop Videl from your hand. As long as you reveal the top card of your deck and it's Satan City, you can automatically just bring it out and then just start comboing off. I mean, this card, when it came out, literally changed the deck entirely. There was a point where this deck was operating in set 3 where the consistency was there, but it wasn't where it is today, and that kind of threw people off and kind of chose them not to play the deck. This changed it entirely. I mean, you really rarely ever whiff when it comes down to revealing the top card. It's just a great card, 10k combo. What are you going to do? The next one, Sharpener. This guy is honestly unfair in the game. All you have to do is reveal the top card of the deck. It's basically the theme of this deck, just reveal the top card. If it's a Satan City, you get to play you reduce the cost of an extra card by 1. Majority of your extras that you play are 1 anyway, so you're literally playing the extra cards for free. This guy's a 10k combo on top of it, and it's an Earthling, which goes into the theme because that's able to be recycled, and it makes the game unfair when you're on the opposite end receiving. It's just, you're playing cards for free now. You don't even have to tap the energy to activate certain things, and, it puts your opponent in a bad position because now you're going to be able to use that energy for other cards that you want to use. You know what I mean? You're just playing them for free, and we like that in the game. So definitely a 4 of. The next card, I personally really like this card. I like cards that reduce energy cost on my opponent's side just because it allows lines of plays of just bottom decking just huge battle cards. And that's a very important thing. Once again, same effect. You're going to reveal the top card of the deck. You're going to first swing, reveal the top card. If it's a Satan City, you will reduce the cost of a card by 2. So even if you have a 5-drop out there, you'll swing, bring it down to 3, and then you'll bring out basically, you're kind of like your boss monster of the deck that's going to bottom deck it. And that's super important. Not to mention, he's just going to stay on the field. If they don't answer it, you're going to constantly do that throughout the game. And it's a 10k combo, as well as it can be recycled. Majority of this deck has, every card could practically be recycled, and that adds in, just the power of what you're really bringing to the table, which is why I feel like, when it comes down to majority of its matchups, it's going to win at least probably 80-85% of the time. All right. The most probably controversial card in the game right now. So many people are looking at this guy. They are requesting him to be banned. Honestly, I have to be fair here. I never really enjoyed this deck because I knew how powerful it was, and I felt like it was kind of like basically a cheat code to play the game. This guy is ridiculous. You can add back any one of your 1-drops that are Earthling from the drop area back to your hand as long as you have 7 or less cards in your hand. You are able to reuse practically, I would say maybe, 70% of your deck back to the hand from the drop. I mean, it is totally unfair. You can add battle cards, extra cards, even itself. And that brings in a big issue when it comes down to playing this game, because while your opponent is sitting there using resources from their hand, not able to be recycled back for the most part, this guy is just like, no, don't worry, I got your back. You're gonna use that again. We're gonna keep doing it over and over and over again until we can't do it anymore, or at least until we win. And that's a problem. So I do expect this guy possibly to be semi-limited or just limited in general when the ban list does come out. But until that time, you best believe this guy will be in the deck and we will be playing him. There's no reason not to. Realistically, probably every blue deck should be playing that card at the end of the day. Okay, we're going to move on to the 2-drops. I mean, this is your main starter. That 1-drop Videl that I brought out to you guys earlier, you're going to use that card to bring out this card right here. This card says as long as you have 7 or less cards in your hand, when you attack, you'll be able to add back a 3 or less back to the hand as long as it says Earthling in its text. And that brings back your Sharpener, your Eraser, your Peel-Off, which is a problem, your Hercules, as well as all your extra cards. And that is super important. Some people kind of miss that text where, they think it only brings back battle cards. No, not at all. You're going to bring back practically, what was that? I don't know. Once again, 70% of your deck just back to the hand, and that adds into the recycling aspect of the deck, and that adds into consistency. Your opponent will absolutely answer this on next turn. They will not leave it out there. So be prepared to have some defense going to keep that card on board. Because this card just literally gives you pluses and answers like no other. If your opponent leaves that on the board, they probably don't know what they're doing. All right, so seeing this, I do not play the Great Sandman vanilla card, or as well as the Videl Sandman card. I forget what the name is. I just played the regular vanilla one. 10k combo, 20k. Once again, can be brought out with that 1-drop that I showed you earlier. There is those other cards that I just named that you can play. Personally, I don't like it. It kind of gets, I think, a little clunky. Yes, it can be comboed off at a 10k, but I like my cards to be clean. I like the engine just to be not simplistic, but just straightforward, where you're doing everything that you need to do, right? And you're not going to have to complicate it and say, oh, well, what if I go this route and do this? Let's just go straightforward. Let's swing for the face. Let's go ahead and control the board and, bottom deck our opponent's cards, man, and we know what we're doing. Well, this could be brought back with Peel-Off or a Peel-Off as well. No, it cannot. Excuse me. Next card. This is what I meant about practically the boss monster of the deck. I would say the second boss monster deck. You play him out so much. You run 4 of this guy. What Gohan says is basically if you have 7 or less cards in your hand, you can go ahead and bottom deck 2, 3 or less cost cards on the field. Battle cards specifically, though. It is also a Satan City. Goes along with the theme. That's what I meant earlier about the Hercule card, because you'll just reduce a 5 cost to 3, and then there it goes, man. You just got rid of a 5 cost, put a 30k on board, and bottom decked, and you really can't ask for anything else. He also combos off with your field extra card, which is really important to the game because you'll cheat him out with 2 energy instead of paying for 4. So now you got more plays to be activated with your energy. Not to mention, he looks great. He's one of my favorite looking cards. Next card. Honestly, I really love this card. To be able to go ahead and just reset the board is very important. You really don't have a lot of that in this game, where no matter what it is, that not only is it battle cards, but it's field cards as well. And that's super important. It's a 10K combo, so even if you draw him early game, he can be foddered just for a combo piece. And he really adds in a lot of value. I mean, if your opponent has you on the ropes, it's kind of, late game going. This just brings you back in. I mean, I've seen countless games where people feel like they're in control. They have like a wall set up of protection, and then you just drop the Zeno, their face drops, and they're just like, why? Why is that a card? Why is that a thing? Why is this possible? And he just sits there smiling like he always does. Like, yep, I'm the main god of destruction, so what are you going to do? Next card, one of my favorite secret rares in the game. I mean, it absolutely is beautiful. This card is so sexy. I love it, man. I actually need to pick up 2 more just to have a play set just for my collection in my binder, because I think this is possibly one of the top 5 best looking cards in the game. He's over here doing his spirit sword. I mean, you can't ask for a better looking card, man. What this card does is when you bring it out, it's going to go ahead and it's going to 6 cost. You'll swing with it. It's 40K. And then you can restand it by milling 5. And then you can possibly bounce a battle card back to the hand. And then you can just swing again. By the way, if let's say you're running low on cards in your deck, and let's say you just run out entirely, right? This guy says as long as he's on the board, you will not end the game. And you can have 0 cards in your deck and you can still keep playing. So as long as he's on board, you won't have to die to a deck out. This deck does draw a lot. And you run through your deck pretty quickly. So just be mindful of that he is a card that can protect you from yourself. My super combo of choice is going to be Videl. I mean, we're playing Videl, man. There's like 2 other Videl cards in it. It just looks nice. It's pretty. It goes, just pretty. It just matches. I'm all about matching. I don't like being tacky. That's not my thing. So I added in Videl, super combo. She's cute. She's ready to go. Give you 20K. Okay, let's go into the extras, right? So I play 3 of the field extra card. You can play 4. I think it gets kind of cloggy at that point. You're going to be drawing a lot, so you will see it. You don't have to really worry about that. What this field extra says is basically you can go ahead and crack it to the drop by tapping 2 energy, and then you'll look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you would play one of those top 3 of the deck as long as it says Satan City on it. And you'll play it at that point for free. What you realistically do is, hopefully, and I'll teach you how to do it, is you'll have the Gohan on top of the deck. That way you'll just crack 2, send it to the drop, and then boom, bring out the Gohan, bottom deck 2 cards, and we'll keep playing the game and keep putting in work. This card also helps out with your leader, because once they swing at you, and this is what I meant about the defensive aspect, you're going to go ahead, they'll swing, you'll turn it sideways, and then give your leader 10,000, which is a huge deal. We are seeing a lot more 30K swings these days with leaders, and that can be a problem from some decks. If you don't have a super combo, you literally have to go ahead and combo 15 in order to get out of that. So this helps you out for free at that point. You just tap it to the side, and then maybe just combo off of 5, and then you're good. You're in the clear, man, and you only have to waste 1 card instead of 2. That helps you save value. That helps you keep the deck going in the engine and keep you strong in your life at a good place, man. You don't want to be pushed too hard. Next card. This card right here, Girls with Short Hair. It's a 1-drop. This can be added back with Pilaf or Videl, and this is what I mean by recycling and consistency. This card says you draw 3 cards as long as you have 3 Satan City cards out there. Mind you, the field extra card is a Satan City, so that does count. You draw 3 and put 1 back. So you're literally +2ing at that point. And it's a very unfair card. And I hate to use that language when giving a deck profile, but in reality, I mean, you can be down on so many cards in your hand. You can not even have a really great hand, but, you having a peel off in this just literally changes your entire perception of how you're going to literally play your hand out, because you can just make your hand out of scratch at that point. Drawing 3 cards in any card game is absolutely broken. No matter what game it is, to be able to draw 2, I mean, Dude, Pot of Greed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was banned instantly because you just drew 2. Now you're talking about a card that you draw 3 and you can put anything back to the top of the deck, which helps you out with your field, extra card, and everything else. It is an unfair card, hands down. For Pilaf to be able to grab that back as well is just like, okay, so what you're saying is you don't want me to play the game, and you're just giving yourself a crazy advantage. This is why this deck, it does what it does, man. You know, if it didn't have maybe 1 or 2 of these cards, it'll be a different conversation, but this is why this is arguably one of probably the best deck, if not the second best deck in the format, hands down. Okay, Great Saiyaman. I personally love this card. This deck revolves around Satan City, and you will have multiples of Satan City cards on the field consistently throughout each turn. On average, I would range you between 2 and 4 Satan City cards. So imagine this. Imagine you have 4 Satan City out. Your opponent has a 6-drop, maybe a 6-drop Goku, UI or something like that, right? And you have that Hercule out there. You'll go ahead, swing with the Hercule, reveal the top card, reduce the Goku by 2. That brings it to 4. You'll activate this and just bottom deck it without a care in the world, and then still have energy, still have everything that you need to go forward. Don't forget the Sharpener does make these cards go to 0, so you don't have to pay the cost. So you really have a lot of ability to just do multiple things in the game and possibly have energy to spare. You know, I don't think there's many decks that are being played in this game that, you know, have this much consistency, as well as absolutely the way this deck recycles. There's no other deck that does it this way. None. There's no other deck that's drawing 3, and there's realistically no other deck that's bottom decking this much consistently, where it's very painful for you to play the game, and it's like uphill battle if you're playing something else. The mirror match can be kind of dragged out, but it comes down to who drew better and who's playing their cards better. So if you are looking realistically for a deck to play that you're just going to beat everybody up at your locals, even especially a regionals or something like that, this is definitely something to consider in this deck. So that is the deck profile of the Satan City Haloku deck. I really appreciate you guys going ahead and checking me out. I know sometimes you can, question yourself, like, do I really want to look at this? I kind of know this deck. For those of you that have, I thank you so very much. Like I said, this is going to be the first of many. I do need to work on, my delivery and everything else. So please do not beat me up so much in the comments. But honestly, give me your feedback back. I don't care if it's bad or good. I enjoy it all. I prefer the OG version of YouTube, so I will not be censoring or cutting out your comments. I prefer you tell me the truth. Listen, man, shout out to you guys for playing the game. Seriously, this game is going places. Just be patient. TCG player is already showing us that based off of how expensive the cards are getting. Get your cards now. Play the game, and I promise you we'll see each other at the finish line, just, giving a thumbs up and ready to go. Shout out to Emporium TCG in Chicago, Illinois, and shout out to Everything Games in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Guys, let's go, man. Let's keep this going, and have a great day.